Welcome back. So I'm still reading the New York Times bestseller All About Love, New Visions by the author Bell Hooks. We're still in chapter 3 and I'm jumping in. Widespread cultural acceptance of lying is a primary reason many of us will never know love. It is impossible to nurture one's own or another person's spiritual growth when the core of one's being and identity is shrouded in secrecy and lies. Trusting that another person always intends your good, having a core foundation of loving practice, cannot exist within a context of deception. It is this truism that makes all acts of judicious withholding major moral dilemmas. So anytime you withhold the truth, people can't trust you, people can't love you. More than ever before, we as a society need to renew a commitment to truth-telling. Such a commitment is difficult when lying is deemed more acceptable than telling the truth. Lying has become so much the accepted norm that people lie even when it would be simpler to tell the truth. Practically every mental health care practitioner, from the most erudite psychoanalysts to untrained self-help gurus, tell us that it is infinitely more fulfilling and we are all saner if we tell the truth. Yet most of us are not rushing to stand up and be counted among the truth tellers. Indeed, as someone committed to being honest in daily life, I experience the constant drag of being seen as a freak for telling the truth. Even when I speak truthfully about simple matters, if a friend gives me a gift and asks me to tell him or her whether or not I like it, I will respond honestly and judiciously. That is to say, I will speak the truth in a positive, caring manner. Yet even in this situation, the person who asks for honesty will often express annoyance when given a truthful response. Yeah, and this is me talking, people think you're rude when you're just telling the truth, because people want you to blow steam up there and have them keep on thinking rubbish. But I'm not here for that. And yes, you can, and they say sometimes it's the tone, but nah, it's just people don't like hearing the truth. In today's world, we're taught to fear the truth, to believe it always hurts. We are encouraged to see honest people as naive, as potential losers, bombarded with cultural propaganda ready to instill in all of us the notion that lies are more important, that truth does not matter. We are all potential victims. Consumer culture in particular encourages lies. Advertising is one of the cultural mediums that has most sanctioned lying, keeping people in a constant state of lack, in perpetual desire, strengthens the marketplace economy. Lovelessness is a boon to consumerism, and lies strengthen the world of predatory advertising. Our passive acceptance of lies in public life, particularly via the mass media, upholds and perpetuates lying in our private lives. In our public life, there would be nothing for tabloid journalism to expose if we lived our lives out in open, committed to truth-telling, committed to knowing love can protect us by keeping us wedded to a life of truth, willing to share ourselves openly and fully in both private and public life. I love that, it's for her to say it. It's like a lot of times we give people power over us because they think they know a secret about us. So they then start to threaten us. Like, I'm going to tell people anything about me that you think you're going to tell someone before me, I'm going to tell them first. If I have some kind of video that first thing, I'm not going to make any kind of videos that I'm going to be ashamed of. So if you say you're going to leak a video about me, I'm going to leak it first and I'm going to make sure I host it on a platform where I can make money, because you're not going to tell the truth about me that I'm not going to tell it first. So yeah. To know love, we have to tell the truth to ourselves and to others. Creating a false self to mask fears and insecurity has become so common that many of us forget who we are and what we feel underneath the pretense. Breaking through this denial is always the first step in uncovering our longing to be honest and clear. Lies and secrets burden us and cause stress. When an individual has always lied, he has no awareness that truth-telling can take away this heavy burden. To know this, he must let the lies go. Yeah, lies are... You have to remember all those stories. I can't even remember where I put my keys most times. To have a whole backstory that I have to keep up with, and then I'm not being paid to keep up with those stories, please leave me alone. Nonsense. When feminism first began, women talked openly about our desire to know men better, to love them for who they really are. We talked about our desires to be loved for who we really are, i.e., to be accepted in our physical and spiritual beings, rather than feeling we had to make ourselves into a fantasy to become the object of male desire. And we urged men to be true to themselves, to express themselves. Then when men began to share their thoughts and feelings, some women could not cope. They wanted the old lies and pretenses to be back in place. In the 70s, a popular Sylvia greeting card showed a woman seated in front of a fortune teller gazing into a crystal ball. The caption on the front of the card read, quote, "He never talks about his feelings," end quote. On the inside, the response was, quote, "Next year at 2 p.m., men will start talking about their feelings, and at 2:05, women all over America will be sorry," end quote. When we hear another person's thoughts, beliefs, and feelings, it is more difficult to project onto them our perceptions of who they are. It is harder to be manipulative. At times, women find it difficult to hear what many men have to say when what they tell us does not conform to our fantasies of who they are and who we want them to be. The wounded child inside many males is a boy who, when he first spoke his truths, was silenced by parental sadism, by a patriarchal world that did not want him to claim his true feelings. The wounded child inside many females is a girl who was taught from early childhood on that she must become something other than herself, deny her true feelings in order to attract and please others. When men and women punish each other for truth-telling, we reinforce the notion that lies are better. To be loving, we willingly hear each other's truth. And most important, we affirm the value of truth-telling. Lies may make people feel better, but they do not help them to know love. I don't think I need to add anything to that except to tell you to know love. You must be a truth teller. You must be a person with enough emotional health to hear the truth and not shy away from it. I keep on telling you, love is for the brave, it's for the strong, it's for grown-ups, and tricks and lies are for kids, as they say. Thanks so much for listening. Tell me what you think.